right, so you're ready to like dive into a whole world of words, huh?
Yeah,
And you're specifically interested in contemporary women authors.
absolutely.
And you want to like go beyond those typical bestseller lists that you see everywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We've got just the thing for you.
Yeah.
So we found this really cool source. It's called 20 Contemporary Women Authors and Their Must-Read Books.
Okay.
And the narrator's like so passionate about these books,
Yeah.
you can practically feel it like leaping right off the page.
Oh, wow.
It's awesome. But 20 authors is a lot, right?
It is a lot. Yeah.
So that's where we come in. We're going to help you find like the hidden gems in here, the ones that will really speak to you.
Yeah, consider us your like literary matchmakers.
I love that.
We're going to sift through these recommendations, 10 fiction and 10 nonfiction, and uncover the authors whose voices and stories are really going to resonate with you.
Exactly. So where do we even begin?
Yeah.
I'm immediately drawn to the fiction picks, especially Madeline Miller's Circe Greek mythology, but told from the enchantress's perspective, like
Right.
sign me up.
Right.
Have you read this one?
I have. It's so good.
It's amazing.
And what's fascinating about Circe is how Miller, she's a classic scholar, by the way, she like reinterprets this myth that we all know. It's not just a retelling, you know? It's like she's re-examining the whole idea of power and agency within this story that's been told like for centuries.
Exactly.
Suddenly you're seeing Circe not as like a villain or a temptress, but as a woman trying to navigate this world that's totally dominated by gods and men.
It really makes you think, like, how many other female perspectives have been, like, silenced or just completely overlooked in all these classic tales that we've heard a million times?
Oh, so many.
Okay, next up we have Taylor Jenkins Reid's Daisy Jones and the Six.
Oh, yeah.
I have to say, the oral history format is so clever.
It's brilliant, but it's also kind of a double-edged sword, you know?
How so?
Well, on the one hand, it totally pulls you in. Makes you feel like you're right there in the room with them, like eavesdropping on all these intimate conversations.
Yeah.
But then it also makes you question, like, how reliable are these narrators?
Right. Are they being truthful? Are they exaggerating?
Exactly. It's like Reed's playing with you a little bit, you know? Making you think about the whole idea of memory and how we create our own narratives.
That's so true. It's like a literary puzzle.
It is.
And speaking of transporting readers to different worlds, Alka Joshi's The Henna Artist completely captivated me. 1950s Jaipur as the setting. That's not your typical backdrop.
No, not at all. And that's what makes it so refreshing. Historical fiction can be such a powerful tool for exploring different cultures and time periods, you know?
For sure.
Especially when it centers on strong female characters like Joshi's protagonist. It allows readers to like step outside their own familiar world and engage with history in a more personal way.
You're making me want to reread it immediately.
You should.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit and talk about some nonfiction. Tara Westover's Educated is one of those memoirs that just stays with you long after you finish it.
Oh, absolutely. It's raw and honest and so powerful.
Yeah.
You know, Westover's story, it really highlights the transformative power of education, but also the resilience of the human spirit.
So true.
It reminds us that we all have the potential to break free from those limiting beliefs that hold us back and redefine our own narratives.
Couldn't agree more. And then there's Isabel Wilkerson's cast.
Yeah.
The Origins of Our Discontents.
Yeah, that's a heavy hitter.
Wilkerson's a Pulitzer Prize-winning author, so, you know, she's bringing some serious weight to this topic.
Absolutely. And what she does so brilliantly in Cast is connect seemingly disparate societies like India, Nazi Germany, and the United States to reveal how these social hierarchies really work. You know,
Yeah.
she argues that these systems, even though they're often invisible, they create and perpetuate inequality. And by drawing those parallels, she's forcing us to confront some really uncomfortable truths about our own social structures.
It's definitely a book that sparks a lot of necessary conversations.
It does.
And speaking of sparking conversation, Rebecca Solnit's Men explain things to me. I mean, the title alone, right?
Oh, it's become a cultural touchstone, hasn't it? And for good reason.
For sure.
It's so relatable. Solnit's essays tackle the ways women's voices are dismissed or silenced all the time, especially in intellectual spaces.
It's witty, insightful, and incredibly relatable for so many women.
It really is.
So far, we've covered historical fiction, memoirs, thought-provoking essays. This list really offers a diverse range of genres and voices.
It does, and that's what's so exciting about contemporary women authors. They're not confined to a single genre or style. They're writing across disciplines, experimenting with form, pushing the boundaries of storytelling. It's amazing.
It is. It really is. It's a testament to the richness and complexity of women's experiences.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like this huge explosion of creativity and diverse perspectives. It's so inspiring. But with so many incredible authors to choose from, where does a listener even begin? You know what I mean? Like, how do they narrow down their reading list?
Right. Well, that's where it gets really interesting. It all comes down to you, the listener. What themes speak to you? What kind of writing style do you like?
Yeah, like, let's say you're fascinated by history, but you want to see it through a new lens.
Hmm.
Have you heard of Lisa C?
Oh, yeah.
Her book, The Island of Sea Women, might be perfect for you. It's set in Korea, and it explores the lives of these female divers. I knew nothing about this world before I read this book.
It's amazing. The research that C did is incredible.
Right.
But it's really the relationship between the two main characters, their friendship, their rivalry, how they face these challenges together, that makes this story so powerful.
Yeah, it's a really special book.
Mhm.
Okay, so for a totally different historical setting, you could check out Kristen Hanna's The Four Winds. It's set during the Great Depression and follows this mother's fight for survival in the Dust Bowl.
Hadiana is a master at capturing the emotional weight of these historical events, you know?
Yeah.
She makes you feel like you're right there living through it alongside the characters.
That's incredible. And in The Four Winds, she doesn't shy away from the really harsh realities that migrant workers faced, especially women during that time.
Right.
It's a really powerful reminder that even in the darkest of times, there's this strength and resilience to be found. Okay, so maybe you're not in the mood for something so heavy.
Yeah.
Maybe you want something lighter, something that will make you smile, something that will make you swoon a little bit.
Okay, I get it.
In that case, Emily Henry's Book Lovers might be just the ticket.
Emily Henry is so much fun.
I don't know. She's great.
She writes these witty, heartwarming romances that still deal with real issues, you know?
They're not just fluff.
Exactly. And in Book Lovers, she's kind of playing with the tropes of the romance genre, you know? Creating this story that's both a fun escape and a clever commentary on what we expect from love and relationships.
Okay, that one is going straight to the top of my to-be-read list.
She's good.
Now, if you're in the mood for something that really digs into family dynamics and the weight of societal expectations, I have to recommend Celeste Ng's Little Fires. Everywhere.
Oh, that's a good one.
Ng is just brilliant at creating these complex characters and exploring all the nuances of human relationships. And in Little Fires, everywhere, she's looking at class, race, motherhood, all against this backdrop of suburban America.
Mm-hmm.
It's fascinating.
It's so good. The way she exposes all the secrets and lies that are simmering beneath the surface of these seemingly perfect lives.
Right. It makes you question everything. It's the kind of book that stays with you long after you've finished it.
Absolutely.
Okay, but we can't forget about the nonfiction gems on this list. If you're looking for inspiration and personal growth, you have to check out Michelle Obama's Becoming.
Yes, that's a must-read.
It's so much more than just a political autobiography. It's a deeply personal reflection on her journey as a woman, a mother, a leader. It's inspiring and relatable at the same time.
It really is. It reminds us that even those who accomplish these extraordinary things still face challenges and setbacks, just like the rest of us.
Exactly. And for another powerful memoir that explores self-discovery and breaking free from societal constraints, I highly recommend Glennon Doyle's Untamed.
Oh, Doyle's writing is amazing. Raw, honest, and often hilarious. She really encourages women to embrace their true selves, even if it means challenging the norms.
I love that about her. It's like a call to action.
It is. It's urging women to reclaim their power and live lives that are authentic to them.
Yes. So much. Yes. And if you're ready to confront some uncomfortable truths about gender and power dynamics, Roxane Gay's Bad Feminist is a must-read.
Her essays are brilliant, insightful, challenging, and often really funny. She tackles these tough conversations about race, gender, pop culture head-on.
She doesn't shy away from anything.
Nope. Bad Feminist is such a great exploration of what it means to be a feminist in a world that often makes it really hard to live up to our own ideals.
It does. And while we're talking about challenging societal norms, we have to mention Rebecca Solnit again.
Yes, definitely Men Explain Things to Me. It's a seminal work. It really sparked a much-needed conversation about how women's voices are often dismissed or silenced.
It's essential reading for anyone who wants to understand how deeply ingrained gender bias is in our culture. You know, both the subtle ways and the not-so-subtle ways.
Absolutely. And for a global perspective on women's empowerment, I think Melinda Gates' The Moment of Lift is a really powerful read.
It is. She combines personal stories with data and research to show how important it is to invest in women and girls.
Right. And she highlights how empowering women has these ripple effects that transform families, communities, entire nations.
It's a really hopeful and inspiring book.
It is.
And speaking of hope and inspiration, we can't forget Malala Yousafzai's incredible story. I Am Malala chronicles her fight for education in the face of such adversity.
It's unbelievable. It's a testament to the power of one voice to make a real difference. Her belief in the right to education, even when she was facing such danger, is so inspiring.
It really is. And it's a reminder that even young people can be these powerful agents of change. We've talked about so many powerful stories today, each one offering a unique perspective on the world. But I think what makes this list so valuable is that it goes beyond just recommending books.
I agree. It's
Yeah.
like it's sparking a curiosity in the listener,
hmm
encouraging them to explore this whole universe of contemporary women authors and find the voices that resonate with them on a personal level.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into this incredible collection of authors, I want to leave you with a thought that really stuck with me.
Oh, I'd love to hear it.
Imagine if you could commission a book from one of these authors.
Yeah.
Any book on any topic. What would it be?
Oh, wow. Yeah. It really makes you think about each author's strengths, you know?
Mhm.
Like, what are they really good at? What stories haven't they told yet?
Exactly. And who knows, maybe your dream book is already out there, just waiting for you to discover it.
Right. Or maybe this will inspire you to write your own book.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of reading.
Yeah.
It not only opens up all these different worlds and perspectives, but it can also spark your own creativity.
Totally. So as we wrap up our deep dive into these amazing contemporary women authors, just remember, this isn't just some random list of books. It's an invitation to explore this whole universe of voices and stories.
And don't forget, there are so many other talented women writers out there. We've only just scratched the surface.
That's true. So keep reading, keep exploring, and keep those imaginations going.
Beautifully said. All right, everyone, happy reading.